What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I want to break down something with SPY and a couple of tickers real quick. But let me first say that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And then don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Put in $1,000 and you're guaranteed up to 15. Anyways, for SPY, I just want to break down how we have this potential flag that could be forming, but nothing's guaranteed just yet. We're technically on a bit of a downtrend, just making lower highs and lower lows, at least for the last couple of the last trading session and a half, I would say, ever since we started kind of like rejecting off 524 yesterday. Since then, with this channel forming, we have this resistance that SPY is testing right here at 522.25, very close to where this white trend line happens to be. But whether or not we get this breakout or not will determine which way we go. If we do break past this resistance, we could actually start pushing to the all-time high, and this could be a breakout from this flag. If we fail to do so, if we fail to break out of this channel, we're going to likely remain range bound for the time being, just continue to downtrend towards 520. So watch this resistance very, very carefully and see how we end up moving. I did want to warn you guys about some manipulation today, and that is what kind of like played out, because what's interesting is max pain is at 518 with a 2.63 puts to call ratio, and we have well over 1.2 million puts expiring, and we have just under 500,000 of the calls expiring. So overall, most of the puts are out of the money. Market makers have done their thing, kind of chopping the markets a bit, really hurting those premiums. And now what I see on the chart is I just think it's going to continue to chop around a bit, but watch to see if you get this rejection or not. Right now, this is going to be very, very important. So for now, if we get this rejection, SPY could sink much lower, and we could start to see this thing downtrend all the way down to about 520, especially going into next week. If we hold up here, I'd still be open-minded. And if we break through this, this could be a breakout, and we could turn a lot more bullish and approach the all-time high. As of right now, it's very indecisive, very choppy, so I'm just going to give it some time. For Tesla, we have a critical resistance. This thing is trying to bounce in the hourly time frame, approaching our 50 EMA and also the 20 EMA between 171-ish around there to just under 172. If we do reject off one of these levels, we could be looking for a move back down to 167.8. But as of right now, we have this big push coming. We could push a little bit higher, but watch to see what happens with resistance. Tesla's approaching that tight resistance, and there's a lot of bad news still out there about the Chinese data, not to mention the slowdown in production. So we'll see how things go. For Nvidia, I called 940 on Nvidia. This thing went all the way up to about 940, 945, a little bit above that. Now we're starting to come back down to our 5 EMA at 937.95. If we do lose this, we could come back down to about 930, then try to bounce again. But overall, I still think Nvidia is outperforming the market, doing relatively well. Got some very, very bullish news. I just think that it's going to hold up for the most part, at least for the rest of the day. So it could come down a little bit more and come back up, just continue to trade within this range. I think that Nvidia will likely hold at a higher 930s later on. Look for a little dip first and a push back up by the time we close. I think that Nvidia is in a decent place, outperforming the market for the most part. For a couple more tickers, we also have the notorious QQQ. The QQQ right now is just very, very choppy. So it's been stuck within this range. Now it's actually trying to break above this resistance. So what I would say is that it was range bound for the majority of the day. Then for the last hour, we did get a little push and dump. So we had this resistance at 447.5. We came back down to about 446. Kind of stuck right now, so we'll have to watch and see how this does. But if this thing manages to close above 446.8, at least around there, there is going to be potential for this to bounce a little bit next week, outperform SPY. If we close below 446, I can see this thing dropping a little bit more. So as of right now, we're kind of chopping. So watch and see where we close. I think that's going to be even more important for this. And for Apple, as predicted, I said Apple might form a double bottom and rebound a little bit, but it's going to be very slow. We've broken past 172.5. We're slowly inching our way towards this previous support becoming resistance at 173.25. We're only about 40 cents away from that, so we could get closer to that target. We'll see if it happens by the time we close or not, if it comes short. But overall, that's what I'm seeing, at least for the market. For Microsoft, we got a nice push all the way up to about 431.5. Came back down, bouncing for 50 EMA at 426. We've been range bound as well on Microsoft. It's kind of indecisive. That 430 area has some tight resistance. For Amazon, this thing came all the way down to about 178, but now it tried to bounce. It's slowly inching its way closer to 180, so it might just see a lot of sideways price action here. Had we lost this support and continued to hold below it, we could have seen a much bigger drop. But as right now it's holding, it is inching its way up towards 180. And then Meta is still range bound. It is actually showing a little bit of strength, trying to hold not too far from 510. If we do break 510, we could push higher. If we end up losing our key support, especially at 505, a bigger drop could come. But overall, Meta is doing quite well. So that being said, I just want to say I thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. And I know it's kind of boring to be watching SPY and these others. I know it's very, very choppy, but I do expect a much bigger move should be coming next week, especially by Monday and Tuesday. So we'll wait for that. Until then, SPY may remain very, very range bound. We'll see if we get a big rejection here, not or how it ends up moving. So wait and see. Watch and see how this ends up turning out. Watch your levels and do what you have to do, guys. I thank you all for listening one more time. Have a great rest of the day. We have about an hour left until the week is over for trading, and we have next week coming. So take care. Do what you have to do, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again, and peace out.